Alright, said it went live. It's showing an advertisement. Alright, we are good. So let's start this. Alright, welcome everybody to the 10th episode of Hear Me Out. Topic of discussion today is create a character. Today I have, of course, T-Risk, which is the person who fathomed this good-ass segment for the NGO channel. And we have a special guest on the show. We have Shin Raven, who will be joining us as a guest on the show to talk about this particular topic. So hear us out, guys, and as we explain this topic, if you guys want to chat along with us and give us some ideas and explain your thoughts on it, feel free. Other than that, T-Risk, take it away.
Sure. Welcome everyone to Hear Me Out episode 10. I would like to remind you all that this show is sponsored by Fullscreen. And with that, let's get started. So, Shin Raven, Mugen, hear me out. What do you two feel about creative characters? This is a topic that was submitted by Sleeky Jim. I'm just modifying it a bit so we could have more of a decent show going on right now.
Okay, a created character. Now, in this sense, creating a character can open up to endless possibilities, especially when someone's given the opportunity to think of something that they would like to add, whether if it's in a fighting game or just any game in general. Now, in the consensus of me thinking about a character that I would like to make if I were to have my character featured in a fighting game, I don't know specifically like a name, but it will be a fighter that's purely made for rushdown. No defense whatsoever. We're talking about there's no running away, there's no turtling, there's no, being a doll sim and stretching limbs. Like, this character will not have a block button. This character will be physically pure rushdown to the point when he's in that ass and he does multitudes of combos, links, and target combos, so on and so forth. I would not like this character to have any beam supers or specials. Everything has to be all physical hits. So let's put it in a sense like Iron
Zangief,
like
Jin when he is like the last character.
We could say we would like him to be somewhat similar to how Akatsuki is in Under Night in Birth, where he's all physical, just minus his projectile fireball. I want someone like that in a fighting game, but in the consensus of that, he will be like super fast, super strong, and super quick when it comes to combos and great frame pressure. But his only lack is that he can't run away because he will have a shitty backdash and he will have no block button.
Okay. For me, going with this topic, yeah, I love creative character. I love it in Soul Calibur. Like, I think that was one of the best new features when it came to new features, like moving forward with it. I forgot what is that Fight Maker game that was on like PlayStation 1 or
Fighting.
PlayStation
It should
2.
be Fighting Maker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
Fighter
think it's
Maker?
straight up called Fighter Maker. Yeah.
Fighter Maker. Okay. That had a lot of interesting stuff going for it, but of course, the problem with create characters, especially to that level, is that people do some dumb stuff, and you can't stop people from doing dumb stuff sometimes. And of course, I'm used to having like a create character thing because of like RPGs and like racing games where pretty much your car is your character. Like that's your baby. You tune that car to move the way you want it to, and so with a character. So for me, if I would create a character, thinking about this, I have always wanted to design a fighting game of my own, along with like other genres, and I usually like just create the two main characters as like these code names, as I think I call them Lapis and Emerald, or Lapis and Crimson.
Lapis and Crimson. Okay.
Yeah, just for code names for like what they are. Like, this is the blue character, this is the red character,
Mm-hmm.
or the green character in Emerald's case. And when it came to me like doing that for fighting games, Lapis was supposed to be a boxer, and Emerald was supposed to be like a kickboxer or a capoeira fighter or like taekwondo, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just supposed to be the two extremes of like one uses just punches and the other one uses just kicks. And for Lapis, I wanted him to use like a kind of like a Balrog and a Vanessa type of fighting style.
Right.
Whereas like I have Vanessa's quick movements, quick like bobs and weaves, quick dashes, and Balrog's like explosive power. But to like offset that, like the character was supposed to have um a jury or a zero or like a Balrog turnaround punch style of charging.
Okay.
Whereas to get that sort of like explosive attacks,
Mm-hmm.
you could do the quick version by just doing the command. But if you held the button down before the motion
Right.
and released it, you got the explosive version of it. So like he was like a fire elemental character, so he kind of was like inspired by Balrog, Vanessa, but also what's his name from King of Fighters? Ralph.
Okay.
So very very strong, very fast, very mobile, but to get like his optimal damage, you had to work for it by knowing the charge time.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, because he was like a boxer character, you couldn't just spam that sort of thing all the time, else he'll get gassed. So there would be like
So there's like a limiter in the sense of how much that can be used in order
Yeah,
for the character
like,
to do things.
kind of like nitrous in some games, where like if you overheat, you explode.
Okay, that's
So
okay.
you could do that, and you could go for that like even stronger version of the attack, but it'll do damage to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to end this fight quickly by taking the risk of doing some explosive damage at the sake of your health? Do you need to be a bit faster? So, do you want to do like quicker strikes that like lead into combos, maybe? Or do you want to be like a middle ground of like using both the safe version of his charge attacks and quick strikes?
Mm-hmm.
And with Emerald, he was supposed to be just an all-around striker type of character, where like he had quick striking moves that comboed into like projectiles that would stun you in the air or stun you on the ground to keep his combos going.
Mm-hmm.
And he was lightning based. So that was his thing. So he like stopped the ground and like a lightning bolt came from the sky, or like he did like a quick kick going at like maybe like a 40-degree angle, and it was just like Zero's Raikkonen attack. The lightning would hit you first, and then he would appear in the air, and you could follow that up with like a downward strike onto the person's back and kind of like surf on them.
Okay.
So he was more of like okay, stylish kind of fighter, where he did a lot of cooler tricks and like agile type of things.
Mm-hmm.
The other character was more grounded, and he did like more explosive damage. And this Emerald character, he could charge up his attacks more like the SNK style, where you could charge meter. He has his own meter, but he has to charge up for like extra lightning damage or like extra properties of maybe like doing like follow ups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his sort of thing. And for the I think I'd say his name was Crimson.
Mm-hmm.
He was more like earth based, for volcanic based of a character. So his attacks were kind of more I would say more Shoto like, more like Avatar, The Last Airbender, like Earthbender style. What was another character? Who is the MKX rock ninja, like Terra or something like that?
I think you said SNK Rock Ninja.
No,
Mortal Kombat
MK, Mortal Kombat 10.
Tremor?
Which ninja?
Tremor.
Oh, Tremor.
Okay, that's what it is. Like that. Like using rock attacks, using magma infused attacks as well. So his whole thing was kind of like I forgot what is his name in KI as well, where he could like store chunks.
Aganos.
Argonos. Like he could make like a rock armor around himself, and that would give him like a point of armor to like do certain attacks. He was more of a grappler in that sense.
Right.
So he could like put armor on himself so that he could get his moves out without having to worry about getting hit.
Mm-hmm.
He could do follow-ups on his grabs, because I like chain grabs. I don't like the one-hit grabs. It's kind of boring, especially like if every strength of the button doesn't have a different animation. It's just the same spin pile driver, it's just the same backbreaker. So I would want like chain attacks, like I can't, like a DOA character, like a 3D fighter in general.
That's what I was gonna ask actually. Like, you mean like follow up with like a combo after the throw, or like
Follow up with a combo after the throw, like how Hugo can like throw you to the wall and then do the backbreaker.
right? I feel you. Or like
Things-
someone
things
like
that.
King from Tekken who has like chain throws because like he's like a wrestler kind of a guy and everything.
Yeah, like 3D fighters are like the king of that.
Yeah.
Of having like his throw, and now it's still going, and it's still going. Why is my health continuously going down?
Right.
It just makes them look more interesting, in my opinion. And that's what I would want. Like Bullet is another character that has chain combos to an extent. I don't know if Potemkin has any. He kind of seems like very standardized in like what he does.
I believe so. Yeah.
It's just that they,
supposed to pull you in and then go into his command throws, but
right. It's the
like
Guilty Gear
follow.
system that gives him his chain combos, and not necessarily like his attacks. Things like that. Like the idea was like an elemental style of fighter that also like did a couple of interesting things that like maybe wasn't done. I also had like ideas for like a cybernetic one, where like all the characters were like AI programs, and I think I forgot what I called it, but like it had like the acronym of DRM, and that was supposed to be something where like you could do like more combat finishers that like erase the program sort of thing. So that's the kind of fighter like I want. Like I would like to have a fighter that does uh explosive damage, that does it in a way that is actually interesting,
Right.
and not just, well, this character just hits stronger because he's this character, and not because there's a mechanic and like mentality to using him. So Shin, you thought of anything?
Got a few ideas, but I'm not an original person whatsoever when it comes to like
That's fine. That's fine.
So I mean, like you mentioned Soul Calibur and everything. Like every time I tried to use create a character mode, I've always made someone that represented or looked closely to another character that is already iconic. You know, like I've taken what's his name, Mitsurugi, and made him into Sephiroth. I've took who's the guy with the broadsword and make him into Cloud. You know, shit like
Guts?
that, or Guts. Yeah,
I'm not
there
sure
you
who
go.
you're talking about.
Right. So I mean, like that's the kind of shit I do as far as like create a character and everything like that. I give a lot of props to Alex Lexus because he came up with Goken for like the Mugen community and everything like that. And, like,
That's right.
strong, you know. If I were to ever make a character, I don't know. Like I've
Well,
tried to think about it in the past. Go ahead.
Let me cut you off on that on what you said about creating characters like Soul Calibur. Yeah, good on you for doing that because I could never do that. I could only make unique characters. I can't make existent ones for some reason.
Oh yeah.
So it's a different skill altogether.
It's definitely like a way to like how I see it. Like I'll pick a like Soul Calibur again. Like as we're continuing with that topic, like I'll try and see something where like it looks like their fight style and try and match it to the T and get their armor like on point and everything like that. So like I mean like that's always been fun for me. You know, like recreating something that's already existing.
Okay.
That they don't necessarily belong in that world and everything like that, but it still works because it's still the move list of Mitsurugi. There's nothing new and everything like that. You can take that character online and then like someone will be like, oh okay, he's using this weapon and everything, he's Mitsurugi, you know. It's not like, for example, the fighters in Smash Brothers 4 where you create a Mii and have like a totally new move list and everything like that that you've made for that character, and then take him online and like what's it called, like if I were to see like a Mii, I would frown upon that. I'd be like, all right, who the fuck is this? You know, like how am I supposed to fight you? Like what the hell is he using now? And like I frown upon people that bring their Mii's into the games, you know, but that's my opinion though. So otherwise, like I would say, like if I were to create a character and everything like that, I like my characters very rush downy, very fast paced, stylish combos and everything like that. Yeah, like that's probably how I would build a character if I were to create my own fighter per se. You know, I might not say so much like rush downy in a way,
So-
as long as like they style on you. Like that's what I love. I love styling on people. You know, so I love to
Okay.
watch like the crazy cool combos that are like really out there. I like to work for my damage and everything like that. If it's like an extended combo and everything like that, I'll keep doing it. And, like,
So what, like in the sense of Marvel, or in the sense of like KOF?
KF would be one. I mean, like, perfect example, Street Fighter V. I've pretty much picked up Ibuki because I saw this potential to do these crazy air juggles with her bombs. I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking learn this character. She looks really, really fun to play, and it totally revived my liking for Street Fighter V.
Gosh, man, you and your Sector style bomb combos. Frustrating, man.
But like even like someone that's not Rush Downey or something like that. Like for example, like Cyrax from MK9. Like just watching his juggles. This is not your traditional way of comboing people, and like his
Oh, did I
relies
get the
on.
wrong Ninja Robot wrong?
I'm sorry?
Cyrax?
Yeah, Cyrax. Cyrax
Okay,
from Mortal
okay.
Kombat 9.
He's the
The
yellow
bomb
one.
combos are, yeah. Like, that
Must have not catch it.
way how he combos is so unique. Like, I freaking love it. Like, I want something where, like, I can pick up a character. I'm like, create a character where they have an intense amount of inputs to do these long chains and shit like that. Or, not like long chains, like it's like Marvel and everything, or like an anime fighter, but like unless that's the game that like I'll be creating for, where like chain combos are uh, like the format for the game and everything. Yeah, absolutely. Like playing Marvel 2 and having an infinite combo where it's just like this 3-hit loop repetition. That's just boring to me. Like, I love seeing the combos in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and everything like that, where like you're all over the place, up and down. You're fucking using your assists to continue and extend and everything like that. And yeah, like that's the kind of fighter I guess I would make.
Okay, and so the kind of character do you want? Do you want them to have like fireballs, or do you want them to be all physical?
For the most part, physical. Like, my inspiration on like making characters per se is like usually like some kind of like a rogue or an assassin and everything like that. So like they have like a short blade and everything like that. They don't have something crazy long that makes them slow. Again, going back to like the rush downy types of characters and everything like that. Like, I love those characters that are in your face.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Nelson, can you tell me who's in the chat?
As of right now, it's only us three. Chat is loading right now. And yeah, that's it, just us three. We're talking to ourselves.
Well, hopefully YouTube has a better turnout. Okay. So, let me ask this since we're on this topic. Where do you think creative characters like can go? Because you have like the extreme that is like Fight Maker, and then you have like some of the more advanced ones that's in a already established fighting game like Tekken. I mean not Tekken, Soul Calibur.
I'm thinking, where can they go?
Yeah.
I would like to see more unique characters in different fighting games besides just like the typical fighters that we have out currently, like Street Fighter V and all the stuff. Like, I want to see games that take advantage 110% of a fighter. I don't want it to be the same linear shit where, like how in Marvel where everything is just blow up combos, just like how in Street Fighter is like a basic ass game of like checkers, or like in Tekken is basically chess. You have to methodically fucking like wall bounce the shit out of them until your opponent dies. Like, I just want to see a game like how Killer Instinct was, where it took a unique perspective of making every character different. No character was a dupe. Like, I need uniqueness all the way through, with inventing a new character from scratch, or taking a character from a different game that never featured in a fighter and putting like a move list together. I need a lot of variety within my games, because I hate having stale ass matches. I hate having stale ass competitions when it comes to like tweaking and balancing for like stats and priority. I don't like that. Like, I'm sick and tired of like 10 years worth of fucking the same 2-3 teams in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and the same fucking 5 teams in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or the same fucking top 5 characters in Street Fighter 5. It's annoying. And in Tekken, like, it's annoying. Like, I understand people favor certain characters because of like strengths and stuff like that, but there should just be a game where every fighter is viable. Like, in my opinion, a lot of people may disagree, but I think Street Fighter Third Strike is a perfect example of it, because you could literally win with any character with the mechanics in that game. You have the parry mechanic, you have the grab parry mechanic, you have like the delay get up and all that stuff, and all the characters can use that. It's not just meant for one character. So any character can make a comeback factor with normal means of their respective moves.
And not just have like an ultimate meter like in Street Fighter 4, or like the red meter in Tekken 6 did it and everything. I
No,
know
the rage
you
monk,
don't
yeah.
like that fucking comeback factor. Like, you shouldn't reward someone for getting beat the fuck up.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And the same rage mechanic is in Smash Bros. Now.
What?
And
Really?
Yeah, yeah. If you're I think at 70% or maybe 60%, rage activates and your attacks become a bit stronger. So you get like
Which Smash Brothers was this?
Smash 4, Smash Wii U.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
that.
it's a hidden mechanic. It's not
Get
as
out.
flashy as it is in these other games where you can visually see it. It's just like when you hit
Right.
a
Yeah,
certain
like,
percentage, your attacks just become stronger.
I
honestly
think
didn't know
I
that.
think the visual indication is when your character's like fire like in not Space Jam, but NBA Jam.
Oh, he's on
I
fire!
I honestly didn't see that shit. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
it's
Anyway.
not noticeable. It's not noticeable in the
Right.
sense of like, okay, you're gonna spot it like that. You know
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
It's gonna take a little
There's no
bit.
flashy.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little
shining,
bit.
flickering effect,
And
right?
I believe it compounds like the higher your percentage is.
Okay.
So, for some characters, like Bowser or Ganondorf, this becomes optimal for them.
Right,
Because
right.
now,
Being
like,
fire and percentages of
They,
him.
yeah, one hit sends you flying, and it should.
okay.
For Charizard, it's also optimal at times because your Flame Tackle, which puts up your percentage, it's boosted.
Right, right.
And that already does insane knockback.
Interesting. I did not know that, to be honest.
And for a
I,
character like
I think
Mars,
certain characters, maybe like that's kind of sort of their thing. Like they just
Yeah.
Hulk up like they're Hulk Hogan or some shit like that.
right? Like
when they
it's
take damage.
optimal
That's kinda
for
cool.
for Marth as well because of his tipper mechanic.
Mhm.
That does way more damage. It does way more knockback. And for Lucario, it just turns him into like a real character at that point.
Yeah.
Because he already has a boost, and on top of that, he gets the rage boost.
Right, right.
So that's what's going on for that. I don't think BlazBlue doesn't have anything like that. Guilty Gear doesn't have anything like that. DOA, it has something like that, but it's not in your favor.
I think like when they're below certain health, then they can do like something equivalent to like a super, right? And then
I forgot what it's called, but yeah, when you get the person down to a certain amount of health and like their health is blinking,
right, right.
and you do the not crush counter, but it's something. You are able to like throw them into a wall, throw them into an obstacle, like a
Right,
stage
right.
hazard sort of thing, and that just does more damage. So
Things like that, I don't
I think
mind.
the
per
team
se.
battle, it takes away their ability to like heal that health back. So it's a strange mechanic. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I totally understand what you mean, Nelson. Granted, like some characters in their strike are harder to win with than others, but I totally get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's just really ridiculously hard to get some uniqueness. I just added a photo just as a template because you were just guys like pause on this, but you was just staring at wood, so I didn't want that to happen. So I inputted a thumbnail of just random fan made created characters from Street.
I honestly forgot like a video
So,
this week.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it's all right. We got it covered, guys. We're 30 minutes in, but we got a thumbnail.
I
Yeah,
think
thank you
I think
for
if it
that.
was something where like if we're not so much like create a character, but like make a fighting game and come up with like a roster of characters and everything like that. I would like to see whether it be like a 2D fighter or a 3D fighter where it's in a way more realistic or like more simulation where you do have legit true fighting styles and everything like around the world and everything like that.
Mhm.
And bring it to a game where this guy's like a Muay Thai character and everything like that, and so he's gonna like throwing elbows and knees and like using actual
Fireballs.
real moves and fireballs.
PK fire.
Fucking what is it? Like have some Russian guy do like KGB fucking QC stuff and everything. That would be really cool.
Mhm.
Tekken kind of sort of has that, but at the same time they over dramatize it with like the air juggles. and
Yeah, it's a bit
shit
of
like that. You
exaggerated.
know, like I want to see where
Like original,
like
Look at all
original,
this cool stuff that Dragunov could do. Oh, he's juggling you.
original,
Right.
original fighting
Never mind.
concept.
but like two fighters I can like respect and everything like that, and like they didn't really make it too big. Like if you know these games, like I think you're a true fighter and everything like that. Otherwise, like either or, that's not where I'm trying to go at. But like for example, Bushido Blade by Square Enix in the PS1. I love that. Like you know, like if you don't like sustain like a lethal hit, but you get cut in the arm, you cannot use that arm anymore. Your attacks are weaker if like you're like a two-hand wielder and everything. Like you're using a weapon that requires two hands and everything. If you're playing like I think it was called like Time Fighter back in the day. It was like trying to compete with Mortal Kombat 1. That game had 5 buttons. It was like left arm, left kick, right kick, and head. So like you know you press those buttons and everything like that. You press head, you're doing a headbutt, you know. And if your arm got cut off in the game and everything like that, that button is like nullified. Like you cannot use that button. Shit like that. That was kind of cool. If you're playing what is it, like I know like for example like the UFC games and everything like that, you can really bruise up some guy's legs, so then like they'll trip up a little bit more, you know. Like I like to see more of that in fighters,
Tao Feng also implemented that feature.
Well, that would be something to
like some
think
realism.
about.
Yeah, some realism. Again, like moves that are like actually in, like if I'm practicing judo and everything like that, you know, like your moveset's gonna be like the traditional hip toss, like the I don't know names of moves to be honest, so but like I'd like to see that utilized for like a character representing their art.
I would have to say to
Nelson, what about you?
to contract on what Shin was saying, the game that comes to hello.
Alright.
I'm
Well,
here. Are you
that's
serious?
the thing. Yeah. I want to see.
Hello?
I think we spoke about this last week.
Uh-huh.
But we may have mentioned the
Hello?
World Tour in Street Fighter. I
Okay.
kind of want that. But like, do you remember
Hello?
Ace back in EX? He was a created character, but he had like a name. Yeah,
What
name. He had
was,
like a backstory as well. Like he was
Oh, yeah.
created.
I'm trying to remember, to be honest. Maybe if I see a picture of him. I didn't play too much into X plus Alpha, but what is it? Like there was only a few characters that were like really memorable in my opinion.
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't memorable. Wait. Hold on. Okay, people, we have to take a short break. We're having a bit of technical difficulties right now.
We lost Nelson.
No, it's not that we lost Nelson. We might lose the entire thing we're about to say. So,
Oh,
we'll
okay.
be right back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, you should hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently, sorry about that, guys. A glitch happened within Discord. Sometimes it just like shuts out my mic. I don't know why, for whatever reason, it just did that. But you can continue. Nothing was lost. It was just a small temporary of dead air. It was probably like not even 10 seconds. So T-Risky was in the middle of talking. After you're done, then I'll go after you.
Right. So, first of all, Shiraven, that is Ace that I was talking about. I can't quite remember his backstory. I just know he was creative of some sort. Yeah, he was a character you can build up in EX. And you could take moves from existing characters. and they
Okay.
didn't have to be in like some set order, I believe. Like you
Okay.
could just choose what you want. Like, you want a fireball? Sure. What kind of fireball you want? You want a charge one, like a Sonic Boom from Guile, or do you want a Hadouken from Ryu and Ken, or do you want a Tiger Shot? Go ahead, and you could get different grappling techniques if you want to. So that was his thing. I think I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called Street Fighter the movie, the game.
Okay.
And you had you had the ability to use the cyborg from the Street Fighter movie, and you could do that as well. So for like World Tour, I kind of would like to have that ability to use a character like Ace, since they can't use Ace, um, and build him up, and have that as an option for World Tour. Like just fight the Street Fighter characters, and maybe have them as like mentors, like how some MMOs have like mentorships,
Okay.
and build up the character like that, and that would be my custom character.
Like, would they build up over time? Like,
Build up over time, build up from doing the matches themselves, or from like the mentors like challenges. Because like a lot of those like MMO games, like when they have mentors, they usually give you like a series of challenges to do for like that class that you want to learn or that move that you want to learn from the mentor.
I can see what you're saying, but at the same time, like, I might have to disagree, or I might not be getting the point correctly and everything like that. So, with me, with a fighter and everything like that, if you're having a certain character, I think they should stay the way that they are and everything like that. Something like, for example, Tekken Revolution that like kind of annoyed me was the more you play it and level up the character that you're playing, you spent points to make them more powerful, have more HP, have more defense. I actually didn't like that feature. I wish that like that was like a feature that you could just turn off and then just play the game like at base stats. Um, what's another game that kind of sort of similar, or like it was
Well, don't be like your
build your
stats are
character.
always constantly going up, but like if you put up your health, like you're going to lose some speed. Because if you want like the health of Zangief, you're not going to have the speed of Ibuki.
Right, true. Okay,
Like-
so like it balances out, like it'll
Right.
put more towards one way and then pull away towards another.
Hmm.
Like for example, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, like whole gem system where you use gems that benefit your character and everything like that. I didn't like that feature.
I like that feature, but they did it wrong. That feature should have been like something again. Like you have those 3 slots,
Mhm.
and you have 1 slot for strength that you can boost up to level 3, so that you have all strength, or you boost to level 2 so that you have an extra slot, or you boost to level 1 and you have 2 extra slots for 2 different things, or maybe 1 extra thing. It should have been this weird, crazy like system of like just this gem does this but it does that, and this gem does this but it does this differently, or you can get this gem that does the same thing but with a different effect on it. That made it convoluted more ways than it did need to be.
Okay.
And it shouldn't have been any sort of like microtransaction system either.
I got you.
It should have just been
Yeah.
okay. Do you want strength? Yes, no. Do you want skill in like meter? Yes, no. And it should have just been that.
Right.
It should have been like a custom groove system.
Right.
Besides the custom groove.
So like CVS too, in a way,
Yeah.
sort of.
And
Well, I would
it
probably
should-
say. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's how it should have been. I'm sorry. Continue, please.
Like something where it's not really a custom, but like where you would have differences. Like if that's the route you want to go, to have like a little bit of differences in a certain character and change your playstyle if you like that character, is like, for example, like MK10, where you had the 3 different. I think it was 3.
The variations, like the 3
Right,
variations,
right.
and like the hidden like balance one.
Right. So you have like, like I can play Jax and everything like that, and
The
one
wrestler,
thing with
be grappler, be like the one with the rockets.
Right. Like more of like do you want to play him like as like a melee character, or do you want to play him as what's it called with like a ranged arsenal on him? That was really cool. I like that effect because like, you know, you're playing your ranked matches and everything like that. You're not going into it like it's Street Fighter, for example, like and saying like, okay, this guy is a fucking Rashid. He's going to be a light punch, light kick, masher, and everything like that, and that's what you can expect out of him, you know. Like if like Rashid had different variations and everything like that, you're kind of going into the match and being like, okay, he picked this variation. Like I have to change up my game plan on, you know, how to be defensive, like to prepare myself for that. You know, that was really cool about MK10. You know, what Nelson said earlier and everything about like having a fighter where playing Marvel 2 and everything like that, and just playing the same 5 teams and everything like that, you know, going back to like Third Strike, even saying like where like you can pick any character and still have like the fortitude to be able to play the game and not be outpicked, you know, like because
I thought if you're not picking Yuri and Chun-Li or Yun, you're playing the game wrong.
right. But yeah, like I definitely agree that a fighter should be balanced enough that like the game should rely on your skill and your skill solely and everything like that. Where it doesn't matter what character I pick and everything like that, I should be able to beat you. Not because I'm picking an OP character, but because I can pick up a character, learn them, and be able to use their abilities, their strengths and weaknesses, and not have to be punished because you're much faster than me, or you have something that like my character does not.
Okay. Nelson, I'm going to my back to you, and yeah, I was going to say, what do you think about the created characters? Like, would you want something that goes far beyond like with like how Fight Maker was like just all custom characters, and like you had that like sort of advanced stuff going where you could literally make the move itself? Or would you rather have something like Soul Calibur was, whereas you have the style of the character, or as they say in Soul Calibur is the soul of the character, and you had their moveset, but you just made their look?
I would put both in to give a variety for a casual and advanced user, so that it'll be easily selectable for them to make an easier decision based on that. I don't mind either option because it gives you in depth of what you can actually make your character do, whether if you want to have like 5 fighting styles mixed into one, or you just want like one basic style, and so on and so forth. I was also going to mention something that Shinraven brought up about like having like actual realistic fighting styles to be represented within an actual fighting game. I was going to bring up a Virtual Fighter due to the fact that it uses actual fighting styles, with the exception of Kage and probably one other character that uses unrealistic jumps within certain moves. But other than
I think that new character in Final Showdown, Jean Kuja, I think it is. Like I think he uses like a fantasy fight style as well. Like not a fantasy fight style, but like a romanticized fighting style.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but Virtual Fighter was a good representation to me because it gave like different countries, and it also gave like different just like art of fighting period, because it was like wrestling style. There was a different like stronger wrestling style, because you know they had mix like Russian wrestling,
Mantis.
Mantis. They have Capoeira. They had Muay Thai. They had a lot of things. They had karate, basic form of it. They had Tai Chi. They had a whole bunch of shit, and it was very, very represented. And I don't want to say Dead or Alive, because Dead or Alive actually had a few kind of represented realistic fighting styles, and then you just had ninjutsu. Like ninjutsu went far beyond to what it's supposed to be.
Like the wrestlers have romanticized like pro wrestling fighting styles, and you have Bateman. That
oh my god!
his moves look like they'll kill you.
Yeah, Bame is supposed to
And
be a Russian mercenary as his fighting style. So he's like Russian mixed martial arts is what he uses.
right, and then you have Zack, which is okay. You have real moves in there, but you have some jokey, weird stuff because that's just the character.
That's his character. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else? You have uh Lisa, Mariposa. She has a luchador capoeira style fighting style, which is an interesting mix, but she makes it work
Mm.
because like she has, well, when she has the ability to do so, she has high flying luchador type moves. She has moves specifically for if you're in the wrestling ring, where she could go on the rope and like do like a 619 style of attack. She can like do moves that look like they should once they throw you to the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like it would be a real wrestling move if like the ropes actually had physics on them.
Yeah.
Who else? You have I can't Miller, and she's interested because she is the MMA character for that game, and she looks
Right. Right.
like any sort of UFC uh, video game character.
Yeah. That's
So-
true.
So DOA, while it does have like the fantasy stuff like Kasumi and Ayane and Hayate and Hayabusa, they also do have some fighting styles that like do pay homage to the real thing, like Kokoro and Lei Fang as well, and Helena.
Right.
She as well.
God, Helena has such an amazing fucking fighting style. Holy
She does.
shit.
She does. Amazing fighting style, amazing taste in clothing as well.
Mhm.
Amazing music, amazing stages.
Yeah, I don't even want to get started about her techno music and one of the stages in DOA 2 Ultimate. Got that shit as my ringtone. Oh! That shit is godlike.
Nice.
But
Yeah, I immediately put it on when they gave it away for final round.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. I also, since we're talking about music, I may do this in the future for our show since we do have legal right to do some of the songs, not all. Some of the Kings of Fighters music. I forgot here that within Kings of Fighters 13, if you got the limited edition bundle, which was the same price as the regular copy, you just have to ask for it.
Mhm.
I have the soundtrack for Kings of Fighters 94 all the way up to Kings of Fighters 13.
Nice.
Really? Nice.
It's a 4-disc compilation, and it's in mint, and I could just rip them. And,
Now,
yeah.
do those have the ASTs as well?
I'm not too sure. I would have to see.
Love the AST version of Iori's themes.
But this is definitely like a good find that I'll probably start using as like an intermission screen for you guys in the future.
Okay.
So
So, keep that in mind.
mm-hmm.
Now, there was another question I was thinking of. What was it that? Legality in these games when it comes to creating characters. How do you think they should go about it? Because for Soul Calibur, you had to have some character of some sort made if you wanted to use the soul of Deviljin.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fine as long as the character was I think default.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could put whatever you wanted on them as long as the character was default, as long as their hitbox was able to be visually seen,
Mm-hmm.
then it was fine. So Shin Raven, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, explain again, like about legality.
Custom character legality. Like, how do you feel about it? Like, UMA made your stance clear when it comes to Smash Bros. But what about other games?
Like, you mean like a custom character in Tekken or something?
Yeah, like being legal.
Oh, being oh, okay, like like in like tournament play and everything like that. Soul Calibur, I think it would work because again, there are move lists that were already implemented in the game. There's nothing new. There's nothing that you're changing or anything like that. Even the most recent Soul Calibur, one of my favorite characters in 4, was not did not make it to 5. However, their playstyle.
I'm guessing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can custom create a character and play Setsuna still with have her original move, like all her moves and everything like that, and like something like that I can appreciate.
Yeah, lucky you. They didn't give you back Talon.
Unfortunately, no. That sucked. Like I wish Talon was in, or like at least her move list was.
Yeah, a lot of people was like,
yeah.
I know you're not gonna give me the character back, but can I at least have the moveset?
Yeah, right. And then like I'll create Talon or like a version of yeah. But yeah, like things like that, like I can appreciate, or I can. I'm cool with being in like a tournament or something like that. But if it's something where you're coming up with a brand new character and everything like that, you know, I've trained for said tournament and everything like that, so I know to expect from the roster that's playable. To come up with another character that has like a different moveset and everything like that, where like I have to be able to, I mean, like it's a test on me having to adjust on the fly and everything like that, but that's sort of what I'm not trying to go to like a tournament scene for, you know, like I'm going to be trying to play my best with the knowledge I know and everything, you know.
Alright. I
don't know if I'm like wording it correctly, but like I think you guys follow my drift.
I follow you. You want the rule sets of the game to be known. So
right.
You don't want like something like just changed on the fly, even if it's something as minor as like, okay, this person now has a character that kind of has some tweaks and changes.
Right. I think even like for example, like with like Street Fighter 4, I think who was it, like Oni and Evil Ryu were banned for a few months. It was too close to Evo that like you couldn't use those characters until the next year.
I would like to try to confirm that because I swore they was able to be used during Evo, just no one really cared to pick them up.
Maybe that's what it is, yeah.
Because I clearly remember when this shit came out in the arcade and people was playing them, and then it came out like probably weeks before Evo. It was still allowed, but the organizer said, you know, play at your own discretion, because if you don't know what the hell you're doing, don't blame us.
Right.
And some people took the opportunity to learn these characters, and they were successful. But the following year, they was OD with those characters, whoever had played them. Like how Sanford Kelly was good with Oni, and how Puerto Rican Balrog was good with Evil Ryu. Same thing with Daigo, you know. But it's depending on, you know, certain things. But should custom characters be legal for tournament? It's iffy, depending on if it was already like preset rules before, like, you know, before like a season of tournaments, or before the year starts up. And I wouldn't mind it, but the character has to be in some range of where it's not like you could just put like all projectiles as all the buttons. Like that would be fucking ridiculous.
Right.
You know, that's like, gonna be super cheap.
For me, I kind of don't want to. I would like to see a league for that. Well, of course, you know, nobody's not gonna go out of their way to do anything like that. But like where it's easier to like just stick with the characters that have their own standardized moveset and just call it a day, as like a chess piece, and not something like, okay, I'm now like in like fighting like a real person. What do they do? Like, what is their strong arm? What is their stronger leg, or what is their weaker leg? Sort of situation.
The custom scene works for a fighter. I think if it's something like Magic the Gathering, in example, where you can put like these crazy, like strats.
I have
absolutely.
I've gone to going back to racing games. I've gone to Need for Speed tournaments where custom vehicles weren't allowed.
Oh no! Right? Really?
Yeah, you could use a vehicle that was tuned up, but you couldn't tune their specific settings. So you couldn't give yourself more ability to turn. You couldn't give yourself more like nitrous, like faster but weaker.
Right.
You couldn't do anything like that. I was like, this is weird. Like I never thought this is how it works. But okay, I can work with this.
Shit! I don't want to randomly interrupt, but Whip is now in KOF 14.
What?
Oh shit! That's
I was about to turn to breaking news then.
Because it's just been confirmed that there has been a trailer that just dropped today, revealing Whip.
That later.
So she is officially out.
Okay,
DLC.
we'll do that after. Because this is my last question anyway. This is and for Smash Bros. I always thought they should just do the Mortal Kombat like variation system, whereas the character has all of their initial abilities, their variation 2 abilities, and their variation 3 abilities. Because the abilities are numbered to begin with, and I tried explaining this to people, and nobody wanted to hear me because you don't play tournaments. All right, whatever. Trying to help you. And that's how it went. And for Soul Calibur, I am like for the most part like fine with it. Like especially for the characters that like are the soul of whoever that doesn't have an actual character, or like create character versions of that character. Especially like I've seen some of the create character Setsunas, and they look fine. They look great.
Right.
So I wouldn't mind that, and I wouldn't mind leaks. But as far as like like regular creative characters are concerned, like I don't just like if Nelson could put it up, I don't want to see Akuma with a shotgun.
I'll put that link up right now. Hold on, people.
Because for those that don't know, since Tekken 6, I believe, you've been able to like add on like wacky like abilities for the characters. Like I think it's like a taunt button, and if they have like something on them like an umbrella or whatever, they swing it.
Yeah.
And if they have something like a gun, they will shoot it.
Right.
And it does damage. I don't know how much damage it does. It might be like some weak damage, like because I think it's a taunt, but it will kill.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like go to a tournament of like Tekken with Steve, and like I'm in my last legs, and like a guy has like a Akuma like in the costume where like he has like he's in the shower with like a shotgun, and like he juggles me with the shotgun, and he does dive 1,000 deaths and kills me.
Right.
I don't want that.
Yeah, some of that stuff is pretty silly in Tekken Tag.
Oh, right, Tekken Tag as well.
Yeah.
Still need to get that game.
Like someone puts his balloon on the floor and everything like that, and then when you walk over it, it knocks you down, and then that puts this blotch of paint on your character and everything like that. It's like, I'm okay with it, but the fact that it knocks me down and you can possibly follow up with more attacks and everything like that, or limit me out because...
What you see right now... I'm sorry, Shin. What you see right now on your screen is what I don't want. I don't want this. this scares me more than any guy in Call of Duty.
Right. Like,
yeah, this is
stuff
bad.
in stuff where it's implemented in the game where it's fair, like someone can pick up an item, like for example Smash Brothers with items on, if that's like your play and everything like that, like if you're playing in that mode. Preferably, I think the ideal way to play Smash Brothers is one-on-ones, no items.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think that's like the tournament format and everything like that, because there is nothing crazy or out of the way wacky and everything like that. Like you're legit playing a fighter, and that's my background, you know. But like if you're with a bunch of friends and you have items on and like everyone's chasing after the fucking Pokeball or the Super Smash Ball and everything like that, you know, like that's
It's just trophies, whatever.
right. It's not a fighter so much anymore. It's like this like action platformer where, you know, like you guys are no longer fighting. You're just chasing after like, you know, power ups and shit like that. You know.
Right.
I think Power Stone 1 does it really well, where like, you know, you have objects and stuff that you can use in your environment and everything like that, and you are chasing after stones to get your super, you know, like your super form.
Yeah.
Like that works.
And even if you were to take items off in Power Stone, you still have the like chairs and tables to use, and they regenerate anyway.
Yeah.
But they regenerate back to their own spot. They regenerate on a set timer.
Right.
So
right.
you could technically like use that and like know the layout of the map to do that sort of thing. Like how one in Halo would know, okay, the sniper rifle's about to spawn when you go after it.
Yeah. Well, that's like aside from a fighter and everything, that's something that works in other games and everything, like Halo, Quake. You know, if you know how to run the map and everything like that, and you're conscious of your cooldown timers and everything like that, yeah, that'll definitely change the tides of a match. And I think that's being smart playing the game that way. Whether if you're not really great with the sniper rifle, but you're taking it because you're keeping their good player that's good with the sniper rifle, like you're keeping that weapon away from them.
Right.
That stuff I appreciate. Again,
or like you give it to the best person on your team with a sniper rifle.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so Nelson, where did they announce with? Oh, never mind. I see a trailer. Okay.
Yeah. It's up to you if you want me to air this trailer, but I will probably get flagged for it. I'm not too sure. I can't really say 110%. If anything, we'll make a video literally after this podcast is over, and we'll make the attempt to do like impressions. So we'll do it right after the podcast. Like we'll end this and we'll make a separate thing for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's more ideal.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone have their ending statements ready?
You go ahead, Shin, and I'll go last.
PAX East! One day! Ah!
Good luck out there.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna have a lot of fun.
Okay. As for me, yeah, I love creating characters, but their mechanics and whatnot, they have to be properly like worked on. Like somebody has to go out of their way to like make that system with like great attention for me to like be excited about it, especially if I want to use that character a lot. Because that was a problem in Smash Bros. Where I made my character, but I could only use it with friends, and with friends it was a blast anyway. But I would have liked to have had at least a mode in Smash Bros. That was like dedicated to using the enemies. But it's whatever. Sakurai is good to be Sakurai. So yeah, that's where I end things. As for like Slinky Jim's question, I hope I asked you a question this week. I don't know if you'll watch on YouTube, but I'll be sure to inform you about it. Anything?
Guys, just keep checking out the channel. Just don't forget to follow our social media links. You got the Facebook, you got the Twitter, you got the Twitch, you got the YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please direct message us on Twitch or comment on the YouTube link of provider of this video of episode 10. And that's pretty much it, guys. Just keep looking out for stuff.
Okay. And with that, Nelson, Shinraven, thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you for having me.
Same to you guys. Like, I hope you all heard us out as well. And with that, this show is over, and we'll be signing out for a possible secondary stream.
Alright, we're ending the stream now, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll be back in a jit.